All right, so we're starting. We're on to mathematics today. Today is the 14th day of July, and we're still on sets. We've looked at different aspects of set. We've tried to look at the definition of what a set is. We've talked about the description of a set being a capital letter and the elements being small letters or numbers, as the case may be. When we went into word problems in set, the focal point moved from the listing to the counting, and that's called cardinality. If you remember well, cardinality. We've also handled two sets problems, and today we're going to be looking at what is called three-set problem or three-set Venn diagram. So we'll take a hypothetical case and use that as our groundwork to develop the concept of solving problems that have three sets. All right, so look at the diagram, and I want us to draw. We said that a set, or rather the universal set, represents the highest possibility in any set question, and it's usually represented by what? A rectangle or a square, depends on the drawing, and that the sets present in the universal are represented with what? By what? Circles. So I'll call here A, set B, and set C. All right, I need to pay very close attention to this now because I'm going to use this to explain. Okay, let me use X, Y, and Z. Let me use X, Y, and Z for obvious reasons. Best known to me, X, Y, and Z. X, Y, and Z. And I'm going to name each of these points, each of these spaces or regions. I'm going to give them specific names because it will help our understanding later. So I'm going to call here A, I'm going to call here B, I'm going to call here C, D, E, F, G, and H. So you discover that I have 8 regions, if I'm right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And all of these regions have unique names. So let's go. Now, the number of the universal sets, that's this one, please watch, represents everything here, everything. So if I'm going to get a number of universal set, I need to know what A is, plus what B is, plus what C is, plus what D is, plus what E is, plus what F is, plus what H is. So when I sum the individual elements, or rather, I take into consideration the counting or the cardinality of each element here, I will arrive at what the cardinality of the universal set would be. First point. Next important idea is to try to isolate and know what is the description of each of these regions. What is the description of each of these regions? They all have varied description. We need to know the description. Why? Because this is what will help us in problem solving. So for the first one, A is equal to the number of X only. The number of what? X only. This is what? Number of X only. That is elements that are present in X and are not present anywhere else. So the elements can only be found here. Maybe I should bring in my color markers to create some swag. So this is A. All the elements that are alone. This is A. So, and how do we represent this? There's also another representation for this. This will be what? The number of X intersection Y intersection Z, Y prime, intersection Z prime. So the number of X intersecting with where there are no possibilities. And so this is what this interpretation is. Please take note of that. Take note of that because this is where your understanding of this question idea will rest on. Now let's go to B. Or let me take C. So I'm not going to take them in the order in which I've labeled them. So if you look at C, C represents number of those that are Y only. So I'm still going to write this one. But in this case now, I need to consider, look at B, look at C. C means Y only. So I don't need X, I don't need Z. I don't need X, I don't need what? Z. Now I will come to this one, which is what? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now what is G? G is equal to the number of what? Z only. Elements that are present only in what? Z. And how do we represent that? Quite simple too. That will be equal to number of X intersection Y intersection Z. But I don't need X and Y, so it will be outside of X, outside of Y. And that takes care of G. So the next one, let me go to, I've taken all of this now. Let me take H. No, I'm not taking any particular order. Let me take H. So what is H? H refers to the number that are not in X, A or Y or Z. So all prime. So it will be the number of X, union Y, union Z, all prime. Outside the union of this is where I have H. So the number of elements that are not here, either in this place but are here, are referred to as what? H. So that's what H will be. So let me go to B. What is B? B will be equal to the number, or let me start with E. What is E? E refers to the number of X, number of elements that are in both X, both Y, and both Z. They are present in all three. And so that's what E will represent. Now what is B? B refers to the elements that are present in X and what? Y, but not in Z. Look at that. It's present in X, present in Y, but if you use your imagination, if you remove Y, if you remove Z from it, that's where you have that one. So B refers to elements that are in X and Y, but not in Z. So what about D? D refers to, look at D now, it means X and Z, but not in what? Y. X and Z, not in Y. Okay, I forgot to tell you something, because sometimes in exam, they can ask you a question. So let me take that back a little. Let me go back to B. B refers to number of what? X and Y only. X and Y only. That means if they don't have any relationship with what? Z. So that will be equal to number of X intersection Y, but not in Z. So let's go to D. D means number of what? X and what? Z only. So what does that mean? It means that it is present in X, not in Y, and in Z. Present in X, not in Y, and in Z. So let's go to F. Look at F. F refers to the number that are in what? Y and Z. Number that are in Y and Z only. So this will now refer to number not in X, in Y, and in Z. So if you count very well, I think I've exhausted all the items there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 key items. I'm going to give you some time to copy this and ruminate over this, for about 5 minutes. Now, question 11 says, the figure shows what? The result of a study of 126 students. It means that the universal set is given as the other side, is what? The 126. This is F. This is V. This is T. And this is 24 here. Now, F represents the students who play what? Football. V represents the students who are playing or like playing volleyball. And T represents the students who like playing what? Tennis. The question says, hey, how many students like, okay, maybe I should fix in the details first. X, 6, X, 34 minus 2X, 54 minus 2X, 14 minus 2X. Now, the first question says, how many students like playing none of, how many students like playing none of the games? None of the games. Remember I told you that none represents, look at this. Okay, have I cleaned it out? I think I've done that. This is a region where that represents none. So for none, it will be, that's A, it will be what? For none, comma, it will be number of what? F union V union T all prime. The union of all of these all prime, and in this case it will be what? 24. So this is the one representing the number of students that have not played either football, volleyball, or what? Tennis. Now B, it says how many students like playing football? Now, please pay very close attention here. The question says, how many students like playing football? The question did not say like playing football only. The question did not say how many students like playing football only. All right. Now, how many students like playing football? They didn't say football only. So the students who like playing football are all the students in this category. So number of students that like playing football will be equal to number of F. So from the narrative, what is number of F? Number of F will be equal to 54 minus X minus 2X plus X plus 6 plus X. That's what it's going to be. So if you look at that, this will give you 54 plus 6 minus 2X plus 2X, and that will give you 60. So the number of people who like playing football are what? 60. Now, the next question here, so this is B. The next question, C, says, what is the value of X? How do we find X? Remember I said that to get the universal set is the largest possibility in any set question. So to get that, you add up the regions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and equate it to 126. So that's what we're going to do. So that will mean that 54 minus 2x. Okay, I need to write well here now. So you're going to have 54 minus 2x plus x plus 34 minus 2x plus x plus 6 plus x plus x plus 6 plus x plus 14 minus 2x plus 24 will be equal to 126. So that's what they expect you to do here. Now, how do you go from here? Some of us will maybe begin to want to collect like 10, but if you look at this closely, this 2x will take this x and this x away. So I can add this 54 plus 34 will give me what? It is 88 plus, or rather minus 2x plus 6 plus x. I just want to take all at the first slide together so that we don't mix them up. Then I take this 14 plus this will give me plus 38 minus 2x equal to 126. You can actually add them up mentally and then put them there. That's also allowed. Now if you look at this again, I'm going to have 88, or rather 88 plus this, that will give me 94. I'm just doing this because I want to take it gradually. Minus x, minus 2x plus x is minus x, minus 2x plus 38 equal to what? 126. So at this point, I will add this to this, and that will give me 130 what? 132 if I'm right, minus 3x equal to 128, meaning that 3x will be equal to 132 minus 126. And 3x will now be equal to what? 6. So x invariably will be equal to what? 2. Now this is from your knowledge of algebra. So you need to take pains gradually and do that aspect. I only use the method that was convenient for me at the time. So you can, a student might decide to rearrange this, which is what I normally advise students to do. You rearrange this, pick them gradually till you arrive at your final answer. All right, so that takes care of question 11. So we'll go to question 12. Now in question 12, I usually will start by drawing the diagram. That's really my best approach. I know it's going to be a 3-set diagram. So just draw this. And as I read and I get the information on the question, I begin to deal with it accordingly. All right, now, we are told that a school sports team consists of what? 68 students. That's the universal set. So number of the universal set is what? 68. 33 do field events. So I'll just come here and put F equal to 33. And number of F is what? 33. That's how you answer set questions. As the information, you get information, you put it down. 40 do track. Track. 40, I'll put that one here. T. 40. 23 do swimming. Swimming. 23. So number of swimming. 23. Now, 8 do both swimming and what? Field. 8 do both swimming and field. It's not talking about this only, it's talking about this whole region. So before you start calculating anything, you need to introduce something we call X. You need to remove what is common to all of them. You need to remove what is common to all of them. So you have been told that the number of what? 15, 8, 14 do both field and tract. So number of field and tract is 14. So field and tract, that will now be 14 minus X. Why? Because I've accounted for the ones that do all three. Now, the next thing you're told is that number of 8 do what? Swimming and field. And that will be equal to 8. And that will be equal to 8. So swimming and field is equal to 8. So that will be 8 minus x. Now the next one says, if 15 students do field events only, 15 do only field events, that's this part. 15 do only field events, that's this part. And 10, so that is number, so number field only is equal to what? 15. And 10 do both swimming and track events. Swimming and track event, 10. So that will be 10 minus x, number of swimming and track, and that's 10. How many students do swimming only? How many students do swimming only? This is what they want you to find. So that's for those who do swimming only. And they now said, how many do track only? That's for track only. And how many do all 3 events? Question number 12. We are in question number 12. How many do the first one says, how many do swimming only? This is this one for swimming. Remember that number of swimming is all of this here, which is equal to 23, will be equal to what? All the elements that are present here. So it means that 8 minus x plus 10 minus x plus number of what? S only will be equal to what? 23. Maybe I should write that, I should rewrite that so that I have everything in one line. Let me try to have everything in one line. Now, 8 minus x plus 10 minus x plus the number of s only will be equal to 23. That's what we're considering, everything here. So it means that 8 plus 10 will give me 18. 8 plus 10 will give me 18. This plus this will give me 0, and I'm left with what? Minus x. So 18 minus x plus number of s only will now be equal to 23. So number of s only will now be equal to what? 23 minus 18 plus x. So what does that give me? What would that give me? That will give me what? 5 plus x. So number of x only will be 5 plus x. So you see that we need to find x, but no problem. Leave it at that. When you have gotten x, you can now come back to that. So you leave a line and you continue. Now they say how many do tract only? So number of what? Tracts in total is equal to 40. So how many will do tract only? It means that the number of tract only plus 14 minus x plus x plus 10 minus x will be equal to what? 40. So we take care of this. The number of tract only plus 24. This and this will cancel itself out. Minus x will be equal to what? 40. So what does that give us? The number of tracts only, will now be equal to what? 40 minus 24 plus x. I have moved the content to the other side. And so from here, what am I going to have? I'm going to have that the number of tracts only will now be equal to what? Will be equal to what? 16 plus x. Now, finally, once you get x, you will now be able to get the final answer. Now, the last one says all 3. So where you have these values now, you can now put in 16 plus x, and where you have swimming only, you can now put in what? 5 plus x. So what is the number of the universal set? The number of the universal set is what? 68. So the number of the universal set is what? 68. So how do we now solve that? We need to add up all the elements present here and equate it to what? 68. So we take that gradually. That will be 15 plus 14 minus x. Do we even need to do that? We don't need to do that. Now look at it. From field events. From field events, look at that. From field events, we have that what? The number of F, those offering or those who like field event, is equal to what? 15 plus 14 minus x plus x plus 8 minus what? X. There are 4 items there. 1, 2, 3, 4, being equated to what? 33. So with that in place, you will have that the number of field events is what? 33. So meaning that what? 33 will be equal to what? 15 plus 14 plus 8 minus x plus x minus x. So what does that give you? That will give you 33 equal to what? 37, if I'm right. If I'm right with that, minus x. Meaning that x will be equal to 37 minus what? 33. X will be equal to what? 4. If x is equal to 4, it means that the earlier problem we solved for, so number of what? Swimming only will now be equal to 5 plus 4, and that will be 9. And the number of what? Tracked only will be equal to 16 plus what? 4, and that will be what? 20. And that solves the problem in hand.